Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I appreciate the support, guys. I know you guys been paying attention. I'm gonna just come out and say it, man. It's been a lot of children either killing themselves or killing another child. And when I say child, I'm talking about toddlers. It's like a rash of all of this stuff like popping up. And the reason why I brought that up is because a lot of you folks in Memphis have heard the story about the little boy that was shot last Saturday. He shot himself with a gun he found in the car while there were relatives in the car, which is, I don't understand. We'll get into it a little bit later. But he wound up losing his life yesterday. Now, he was in critical condition in the hospital in Memphis. And I seen that he succumbed to his injuries, and it's very sad. But I want to talk a little bit about this gun safety and just the level of responsibility us as adults need to have when we possess a firearm. I mean, here it is, the beginning of summer, and you can get on the internet and see multiple children die. Whether it's from gun violence or not, stuff like this shouldn't happen. This should never have happened. There's a level of irresponsibility, and somebody needs to take the weight for this. I'm gonna play this video clip and you check it out, man. It's sad, but I mean, it's a reality nowadays, and it's something that can be preventable. Check it out, guys.
Break tonight when a 3-year-old little boy dies after police say he accidentally shot himself.
It happened Saturday afternoon in the parking lot of a Collierville shopping center.
WRG's Shay Arthur is live tonight at Le Bonheur Children's Hospital with the latest on the case. And Shay, just heartbreaking news this evening.
Yeah, Greg, Stephanie, this really is such a tragic case. Initially, that little boy was brought here to Le Bonheur Children's Hospital, but then sadly did not make it. And tonight, as we're now in summer vacation, more and more children are going to be home. Doctors, they have a warning. In this parking lot off Poplar in Collierville, police say a 3-year-old boy somehow got his hands on a gun, shooting himself.
It's always really devastating.
That little boy later dying at the hospital. Right now, it's unclear how he was able to get a hold of the weapon. Investigators tell us other relatives were in the car at the time of that accidental shooting.
There's a lot of remorse and sadness when this occurs.
Tonight, while there's many questions in this case, doctors say all too often, too many children are getting a hold of guns.
It's pretty frustrating. This is something that we see day in and day out, and it's preventable. Gunshot wounds are preventable both in adults and in children. But it always is a little bit more sad in a 3-year-old because they had so much left of their life, and it was taken away so early.
Looking ahead to the summer, Dr. Regan Williams, travel medical director at Le Bonheur Children's Hospital, says her team sees trauma go up. Children are out of school. She says families need to keep guns and ammunition locked and stored separately.
It's not always enough to tell a child not to mess with the gun if they have access to it. They're curious little people, and they tend to want to see what that is and play with it, and that's how we get accidental injuries.
To combat these accidental injuries, Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris recently talked to us about his push for safe storage in the county.
On Shelby County government, we created the first gun lock by mail program in the country, we believe. And so what that means, if you go to our website, we'll send you a gun lock in the mail for free. There's no other place you can get that done, but we need innovation in this community because we have so many accidental shooting deaths, so many guns that are not safely stored.
Guys, that was a news article, and we got us a 3-year-old boy that's gone. Summer just beginning. Now, granted, he probably wasn't in school, but he might have been in daycare or something like that. And he could be having fun with everybody else. And regardless of how sad it is or not, should never happen. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this is a bunch of negligence, irresponsibility. And I think, I'm going to say something in reference to that. I think a lot of times people have these guns in the car. They go and give people rides or whatever, or have family in the car. And they might forget the guns under there, or they just think that they're the only person that knows where the gun is. Now, a lot of people are saying, hey, how he get shot with family in the car and relatives? You don't know if it was other children in the back. Because the way it sounded, the way, first hearing it on a surface level, you would think the child was back there with some grown-ups. Might have been back there with kids. Because it says he shot himself. Now, I don't know if he had the weapon pointed towards him. Well, I mean, he had to, I guess. But my thing is, when he pulled the gun out, how come nobody said nothing? Or nobody's seen it? I mean, he's right next to you. Unless he's just, jumping around in the car and people ain't really paying attention. He probably on their phones or something. I mean, I'm not blaming anybody. I don't know how that goes, but it's just strange that happened to him. I mean, that's really strange. Then it said police responded and found him in the car after reports of shots being fired. When I had my kids in my presence when they were younger, man, I was overly watching. Everywhere I went, I took my kids. And I'm not saying the little boy should have been outside the door because he's in there with family, but I just think, when the gun was put in the car, the person honestly forgot the gun was down there or never thought that the kid was going to look at it. That's what I think. But I mean, the bottom line is this shouldn't have happened. What you need a gun in a damn car for anyway? And everybody always says, hey, people have a right to bear arms and, you can have a gun wherever you want. That's true indeed. But I mean, nothing clicked in your head of responsibility when you had a kid in the car, like, okay, anything can go wrong. Let me get this gun out of here, put the gun on my person, or just not take it with me. Now, the car had Mississippi plates. Now, I don't know how close that was to the Mississippi border. You might have came across to do some shopping. Either way, the gun shouldn't have been in the car. Now, on another note, when the police were called, right? I don't know. I know they didn't call the police, but the car was still sitting there. Now, I don't know about you, but if a child was hurt or shot, I'd have got the fuck out of there. They had to catch me at the hospital. Now, I ain't mean to cuss. I'm trying to get my cussing back down. No, but I would have got out of there. The car was still at the crime scene. Now, it never said where he was shot at. That's another thing. It never said where he was shot at. But I mean, a 3-year-old child is small. Now, I don't know what caliber handgun he was shot with. It don't really matter. He was shot. And I would have been out of there. I mean, whoever's in the store, they would have had to come out. We would have been gone. They'd have had to catch me at the hospital. I'm not going to sit there and wait for EMTs or something like that. That's why I brought up them being from Mississippi or something. Maybe they didn't really know the area where the hospital or wherever was at. But Jesus Christ, man, this is unfortunate. This happened to this little guy. And it's just a lesson for us. We got to do better, as parents or as guardians or just people that are in the presence of children. They don't think like us. They don't know the difference between right and wrong and what to touch and what not to touch. You can tell a child, hey, man, don't touch such and such. They'll touch as soon as you turn your head. Kids are curious. It's just how they are. We just got to use a little bit more understanding in the fact that a child don't think on our level. And a lot of this stuff can be avoided. Another thing about this whole situation that's messing me up is if he was in the car seat, I don't think he would have found the gun. I think he found it under the seat. He was just, outside the seat or whatever. There's nothing wrong with taking the kid out the car seat in an unmoving vehicle. But that's what I think happened. All in all, the gun shouldn't have been in the car, and it's unfortunate. The reason why I'll be bringing up these stories with these kids dying over silly, ways of parental carelessness is because these are young minds. You don't know what they can be. Some of the greatest thinkers that came out of the Black community. And when we wiping each other off like this from our carelessness, you don't know what we are stopping in the progression of us as a people or humanity, period. And that's my biggest gripe with this death of children. You never know. Leave me a comment, man. Tell me how you guys feel about the story. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.